everyone. Welcome back to our second feature match tonight. I am here with Zeke. I'm going to be looking at it from Caleb's point of view. And Zeke's going to be looking at it from Jeremy's point of view. So hopefully we're going to be in for a treat here, because these are two of our most consistent, highest performers in the league. So looking forward to hopefully...
And aren't they, isn't it like a 5-0 versus a 4-0 player right now? Or 4-1? Or no, it's 2 5-0s.
No, Jeremy, I think, was at 2 or 3 wins for the week. I know Caleb went 5-0.
Oh, he's at 5 now.
Okay.
Oh, he's 5-2. Okay,
so
he might have
finished
early.
He finished the week with 4 wins. So last week we did see Jeremy's deck in the feature match. He was playing a broker's deck with a bit of red, and the big
seems to be the same still.
The big headliner was the 2 Soul of Emancipation, the 7 drops that could turn things into angels at the top of his curve.
We do have one in those to start with.
There you go. Caleb is running what appears to be some 5-color-ish or 4-color deck, probably just playing his best cards, and it's got him far. It's got him to 5-0, so he's quite comfortable in playing these multicolor decks in past leagues, so not too much of a shock to see him running this strategy. So Jeremy starts off with the Riveteer's Decoy, which is going to get in for quite a bit. Caleb has a very slow hand here. He just drew a big score for turn, which will hopefully draw him into something better than the Rogue's Gallery and the Rock's Pummeler and the 3 lands that are in his hand right now. So it's going to be a minute before he's effectively
definitely going to punish that, because our entire hand is like 3 drops and 2 drops.
And here's a Gathering Throne, which is going to pick up some friends here.
Both fun. Yeah.
Right.
And then next turn we've got Backup Agent and Skycrier to double spell.
Alright, so Caleb got quite a fortunate draw here for him, which is an Exhibition Magician, which can put 2 bodies, both of which can block favorably here.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised if he decided to cast Big Score. The one thing about Big Score is that it gets him his Rock's Pummeler into play next turn with the treasures. But I think putting an Exhibition Magician and avoiding taking 6 is looking to be what he might want to do here.
We also have an Exhibition Magician as our last card.
Yeah. Well, I think anybody that's playing red is going to play every copy of this common that they can find.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah,
it does so much.
Pretty good.
If you're trying to fix and splash, it helps you. If you're trying to stabilize the board, it helps. If you're trying to go aggro and you have Citizen Matters, it gives you a Citizen. So it does just about everything, no matter what type of deck you're trying to play.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't think it's quite on par as the Angel or Jewel Thief, but like it's up there in terms of the 3-drop common. They seem to have given every color a pretty good one. Yeah, well, the Inspiring Overseer and Jewel Thief are just like extreme highs of power level that we don't usually see at common. Exhibition Magician is just a solid, all-around good card, so it doesn't jump off the page at power level like those do. But like it's useful. It's pretty close,
in a variety
I feel.
of decks. Yeah. Anyway. So what's Jeremy's considerations here?
Looks like we're debating attacking, and looks like we are. We have no combat tricks, so we're just swapping everything off, and we drew Black Market Tycoon, so I guess we're double spelling that and Skycrier.
So last week I know he was playing a Broker's base with a bit of red, so perhaps he's switched around to be a Cabaretti base with blue as the...
For the soul, maybe
the auxiliary 4th color, because he's well, I mean he has 2 red lands in play. He has a 2-drop that costs red mana, so I'm thinking that maybe he adjusted his deck. I mean, probably not a huge.
Entirely possible. All I was basing it off of was the opening hand, which was the soul, and then mostly white spells.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he's still a green-white base, but now just red is more prominent than the blue. But either way, looks like he, if nothing else, will be able to cast Gathering Throngs in the upcoming turns. But he's going for a backup agent here to put a counter on the flyer. Like a 1/1 flyer, a 1/1 flying lifelink you can ignore for several turns. A 2/2 flying lifelink you just can't ignore.
you can ignore it just for a lot fewer turns, like 2 or 3.
But yeah, you ignore enough turns, and then maybe you can stabilize your life total, but you're looking up at your opponent, and your opponent's up there close to 30, and
yeah,
having a tough time. So here's a treasure. It's gonna
Throng.
It's gonna cast the Throng. So he's not finding his lands here, but this Tycoon is being.
I don't think we need them too much.
Looks like he's got what he needs. So Caleb has drawn his own Soul of Emancipation, which I don't imagine he's going to be casting for a bit here.
He's got 2 treasures, and he wants to save them to use for that.
Yeah, so he could cast a 6-drop, which is the Rocks Pummeler. If he wants to cast a flyer, he has the Shattered Seraph in hand that he can also cast using one of the treasures. That will gain him 3 life. We put a 4/4. What does Jeremy have in terms of interaction here?
A card that I'm looking up, Torch Breath. I'm not remembering this one.
It's just
deals an X to a creature or player, and it can be cheaper on a blue.
I'm not sure it's to a player. I think it's creature or planeswalker.
Or planeswalker, that's what I meant.
Yeah. It can't be countered as well, which doesn't look like it'll come up right now, but it costs less if it's targeting a blue creature. So no immediate answer for this imposing Rhino here. But he will continue to attack with this flyer for the time being.
Here, I'm going to guess we're putting a Magician and a Throng down.
Okay, so just putting in more creatures.
Yeah.
If Jeremy has some type of group pump, I don't know. There's not too many of that going on in the set, but if he does,
we're just leaving up Torch Breath.
This could get out of control. So the Soul of Emancipation is going to come down here, turning 2 treasures into 3/3s. I believe you can also
the shield token.
I believe you can also target the Rocks Pummeler, right?
Yeah, it just takes out the shield token because it doesn't say for each of the things destroyed this way.
It just says its controller. Yeah, often it's worded. It checks that it's destroyed, but this one doesn't.
Funnily enough, this Torch Breath is probably just going to take out the Rhino then, because we just get to take out the shield counter.
Yeah, well, he'll still need more mana, but...
Well, no, we take out the shield counter, and then the soul actually kills it.
Oh, okay, yes, I see now. Okay. I mean, this is still not that great for Jeremy. I mean, he's still looking down...
It's not horrible. We've got our own soul, so like we're gonna play our own soul and upgrade our.
So he still gets the angel, because it doesn't care if the target is it doesn't care if the creature is gone or not. So he does get the full slate of angels here. So
I know.
Let's see what Jeremy can do. I mean, eventually Jeremy can cast his own Soul Emancipation and turn his little.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm betting that comes down this turn.
And then we might be at a stalemate for a bit, if that's the case. So in hand, Caleb has a prize fight, a Shattered Seraph, which I mentioned before, and the Rogue's Gallery. That was there from his opening hand.
We drew another Torch Breath. What we've got left in hand is a Gathering Throng and that Torch Breath. But yeah, we're just going to upgrade 3 of our dorks here.
He's going to ship all these little X1s away
and
get angels, and we are back to where we were a couple turns ago, except with a lot more power.
I mean, we can be attacking with our angels. Like, if we trade off the angels, then our Skycryer gets in.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb does have
the angels through. We win the race.
Caleb does have a Shattered Seraph that he can deploy this turn. His other choice is play a Freelance Muscle and leave up Prize Fight, but I'm not certain what he's thinking he's going to Prize Fight this turn. He's just going to cast his angel.
I don't know.
He's just going to cast his angel.
I'm going to guess that eats the Torch Breath.
Yeah, Torch Breath for 4. Or no, it's a blue creature, so he gets the discount.
Yeah. Well, it makes it cheaper, so you still do X equals 4.
Yeah.
You just don't have to pay as much.
Yeah, these cards that are better when you target a creature of a certain color have never been better than they are in this set.
Yeah,
we've seen them from time to time in other sets, and they're usually fine. But here they're just like actively good because of all these 2 and 3 color creatures that fit the bill.
Well, and the base components aren't as bad, I feel, as usual. Because, like, Torch Breath, red and X, to deal X to something, that's something you'd run anyway.
Yeah, it's below rate from what we expect nowadays, but it's still a card we always play. Same with Knockout Blow. Yeah, Knockout Blow being one mana is just very, very strong. Yeah, no, the whole cycle is just very good, and Whack is excellent too, removing, gets around shield counters. Yeah. So they pump those cards up on their base level, and they are even better with the color hosing. So
yeah, that's true.
So Soul Emancipation is getting in here as well as the Angels. So
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
I mean, Caleb's blocks are kind of straightforward. I mean, we'll see what he decides. He could put the Soul of Emancipation and a 3/3 on the Soul of Emancipation, and then block the 3 Angels with his 2 3/3s and the 4/4, I suppose. He could take some amount of it, but not all. Let's see what he decides on.
He could take all of it.
Okay. So he's decided not to try and trade for he's decided to not try and kill the Soul of Emancipation, which might end up having his Soul of Emancipation killed by the Torch Breath or the Shattered Seraph.
That's my guess, yeah. Looks like we're thinking about it still. We're looking at the Seraph, so I'm thinking that's the target.
Okay.
Yep. I think I agree with that. Just keep your Angel. This clears out 2 of the Angels, and I think just less Angels on the board is better because our ground creatures are better.
Yeah, if Jeremy can find an answer to this 3/3 flyer, he's going to win pretty fast here with all the flying he has. Caleb's drawn a land. So he has a Rogue's Gallery, which could get back, I believe, 3 of the creatures in his graveyard, including the Shattered Seraph. I think he's just going to play the Freelance Muscle. And he's left up a prize fight here, so he can, if needed, he can kill a creature with it.
Well, when he blocks it with it, it becomes big enough to eat anything.
Yeah, it'll be a 9/9.
Yeah.
So the ground attacks are not happening here, and the air attacks, aside from the 3/3, are also not happening. So let's see what Jeremy can find.
Ooh, Ready to Rumble. That is pretty good.
Get 11/11.
Why would it be an 11/11?
Because it picks the highest number amongst power and toughness. So the emancipation is 5/7.
All right.
Well, we found an answer to the flyer, so we're just going to get it here.
The damage is going to start here. This is 6 flying. This is not going to take very long to end the game.
3 of it being lifelink too.
I figured.
I think you've got a
prize fight here. Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you just eat the Angel over the lifelink. Yeah.
Yep. Just have the least damage dealt to you is the sensible option here. So we'll see what Caleb can pick up. He has the Rogue's Gallery to get back a number of his creatures.
Wonder if he wants to try and get his Soul Dead to pull it back.
So he's playing this card that he's drawn here, the Professional Face Breaker. I suppose that indicates that he's planning to attack with his Rhino. Yeah. Yeah, it's power and or toughness, yeah. So thank you for pointing that out. It is now an 11/11.
I think we're getting under the bus with a Throng.
Yeah.
We could just take 11.
I mean, taking 11 just basically gives Caleb an extra card. So
that's true too.
It seems like all downside. First of all, you've taken 11, which is not insignificant, and you're giving him an extra look
but your
card.
Opponent only has 2 creatures, so a 3/1 on the ground attacking. I guess you can jump with the 2/2 that makes.
So Caleb now has access to 2 potential draws here with the 2 treasures he has in play. So that's what he's going to do. See what he can find. If he can't find something that he can play immediately, he's probably just going to cast the Rogue's Gallery. So he's revealed a Murder, which is going to go on
a flyer, probably,
the
or
2/2.
Soul?
The 2/2 Sky Crier. Yeah. He just needs to clear the board of these flying threats, and then hopefully, I mean, this Rogue's Gallery looks like it's going to be very impactful here. Yeah. So the Rogue's Gallery is going to be able to get
Are you going for another card? I don't think you go for another card here.
No, he's looks like he's casting the Rogue's Gallery. Or he might wait till next turn to not use the
I was going to say, I don't think I waste my treasure on that when the treasure could be a card.
Yeah, well, but this is a guaranteed 3 cards right now. Right here, right now. So he's taking the 3 cards.
Yeah. Okay.
He's taking the 3 cards. He's going to be able to start deploying them.
I guess they are a lot of mana, so you want to be able to start deploying the big ones next turn.
Yeah, that Shattered Seraph's going to come down and really be the biggest threat as far as dealing damage.
Yeah.
So, very good turn for Caleb here. Got in for 11, got to draw a murder basically for free, and then
looks like we're debating whether to make a treasure. I don't know why we would this turn when we haven't done other turns. Are we really just hoping for...
He's maybe hoping for soul number 2, yeah.
Yeah. We drew an Adjudicators, which means we can bash reasonably hard this turn.
Right, yeah, could lock down the 5/7 and then attack for, I guess,
8.
9.
9, yeah.
Yeah, leave the Tycoon back and attack with all the others. Yeah, that's a play. Long term, I don't know if that's the solution, because right now Jeremy's staring down, like, a massive card advantage deficit here.
And that's drawing cards. Looks like we're cashing in the token.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, go for Adjudicators. Locking down the 5/7. Make some inroads on the life total here.
Yeah.
I mean... So we'll see if Caleb decides he wants to trade off here, or if he's just going to take his 9. And
I think you just take the 9. You've got a bunch of life to come back with the Seraph.
Yeah, he's got the cards in hand he needs. He just needs time to deploy it. So now he's drawn a Zayator's Envoy, which is a rare Riveteer's card, where when it deals damage, you can potentially cast something off the top of your library. So he's deciding what to do this turn. So he has 8 lands in play, which is usually a lot, but with the way his hand is textured, he can cast 2 spells, but it would have to be the Zayator's Envoy and the Exhibition Magician. Or he could cast the Exhibition Magician to make
into the Rhino
treasure. Yeah. But yeah, he has a very expensive hand right now, but if he can play all of his cards before dying, it's looking like it's favorable for him.
I think that's likely, because Seraph gains 4 life, which
gains
is a 4/4 flyer.
Yeah, it gains 3 life.
3?
Yeah.
3? Okay. Still a decent chunk.
Well, he'll take any amount of life gain here. I think he's settling on just casting his flyer here. It means he doesn't get attacked in the air. It means he can start attacking in the air, and he gets a little life bonus.
Do you attack if you're him?
He's still deciding, because now he highlighted the Exhibition Magician, so he's really thinking this over. It's
okay.
It's not clear what is the objectively correct thing here. So he's taking a moment to think about it. He's going in for attacks.
That's what I was wondering for. Yeah, I was going to say, if you're bashing I think you bash with both.
He's going for attacks here.
Because you got to chump that Rhino at this point. And then you're not blocking the Facebreaker. Which gets you a treasure.
Yeah, he does not want to take 11 again. That was a one-time ordeal, I think.
I doubt we're taking 11 again. That would be double blocking the Facebreaker, which seems just bad on so many levels. Although with this treasure, he can now go Exhibition, Magician, make a 1/1, and the Rhino. Which just puts a lot of ground blockers on the board, which isn't bad.
Yeah, if he chooses to do that. I mean, not sure how confident Jeremy is in the top of his deck that he can just go to 2 here.
I'm not sure why we haven't passed to blockers. Like, we're not making a treasure before block.
No, he's just deciding whether he's gonna or how he's gonna block. He does have to block. Now we're on
the blocks.
He is. Yeah. He is.
Looks like we're going to 2.
Okay, he's gonna keep his. He's gonna get the Facebreaker off. He's gonna get one of the creatures dead and take the risk here.
This also stops the Facebreaker from drawing cards. Like, you get the treasure, but you don't get any cards after that.
Yeah, so...
Wait, we didn't make a treasure? Why didn't we make a treasure?
No, he gets the treasure now.
No, with the...
Oh, he didn't make the treasure, right.
We didn't make our treasure.
Well, hopefully he does not draw
hopefully
6
we're not
drop,
1 mana short.
And,
well, we drew another 3-drop, so that extra treasure would have been real nice.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Or that's what I was saying.
Magician and Throng.
Hoping he doesn't get a 3-drop. Well, he could play the Magician into the Throng.
But having the 1/1 would have been...
Or you could just play the Magician, make a treasure, and just cast the Throng later. So... yeah, this Freelance Muscle is a huge problem. There's only so many turns where you can just keep throwing your creatures in front of it to not die to it. Alright, so little flyers getting in.
Well, the issue now is the 6/3 Trampler along with it, I think. Although I guess we have a 5/7 that blocks.
Yeah, the 5/7 can get in front of the 6/3.
Yeah.
Right,
and then we have to just jump to your own 5/7.
Yeah, hopefully that this doesn't cost him the game. The fact that he didn't make the treasure there to be able to cast everything. So Caleb's drawn a land. He's gonna think about his options here. Most likely casting the Shattered Seraph this turn, so he's gonna get in his attack for 11 once again, which something's gonna get in front of it.
I mean, we could also like triple block and get it off the board.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's great.
I mean, Jeremy loses his whole board presence if he does that.
If you block with Soul Adjudicator's Magician, it can only kill 2.
Right.
So it's just a 2-for-1, which for a Rhino isn't that bad. We drew Arsonist, which means we still can't do both the spells.
Which is the Arsonist?
3 mana 2/2, and you can pay 1 and tap it to deal X to anything, where X is the number of things you've sacked, which would have been one way to close out this game if we had a bunch of random treasures. But
yeah, the uncommon. There it is. Pyre Sledge Arsonist. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That. So. Caleb's on a Psychic Pickpocket here. See how he decides.
Oh, that's just game, right? Bounce the Skycrier attack for lethal?
Yeah, so he gets the Skycrier out of the way, and he gets in with his 4/4 Angel. And, that Rogue's Gallery was huge, getting back those 3 creatures after trading off a bunch of resources. So we had the Soul of Emancipation Showdown. Yeah, so Caleb's got quite the collection of rares here. He's got 2 copies of a Hostile Takeover in his deck.
Yeah, I'd say we're base Cabaretti now. We're running 4 blue cards. It's the 2 Angels and 2 of those Educators that are
so he swapped his 3rd and 4th colors, which one was more prominent.
Yeah. I've always been impressed with Rogue's Gallery so far. Like, even in draft, I'm usually pulling back 4 creatures.
4? Okay.
I mean, you know me in multicolor decks.
Yeah. So Caleb is deciding what to sideboard here. He has a couple of cards from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms that he's pulled into his possible cards to bring in. So if somebody's watching that is not familiar with
pair of kill shots.
Okay. So if there's anybody watching that's not familiar with what we're doing in this league, why are there Adventures of the Forgotten Realms cards in someone's deck? Well, we have a league mechanic where we reward players once they've won, or each time they win a match against one player from the 4 opposing teams, they get a random pack of anything that's on Arena. So in this case, Caleb, who got his 4 wins last week, has a pack of Adventures of Forgotten Realms at his disposal, including the rare Delina Wild Mage, the card where you roll dice and potentially make copies of other creatures. So that's what's happening there. So he's pulled, you see a pair of Goblins, which makes 2 1/1s at instant speed, or pumps your team +2/+0, and a Vampire Spawn over as cards he might want to bring in. And he's taking out his Wrecking Crew, the 4/5 Reach Trample, and the Unlicensed Hearse, which Jeremy wasn't doing too much with the graveyard, and Caleb was actually, he recurred stuff from the graveyard, so he decided the Unlicensed Hearse, though a good card, might be a little slow in this matchup.
I don't think I ever see myself cutting that one. We cut one of the green Blitz token guys, the Strong Arm.
Okay.
And looks like we're still trying to figure out what else to cut for a second kill shot.
Okay. Yeah, Caleb has a lot of very impactful heavy hitter creatures, so kill shot. While against some decks you might not be able to get your mana's worth, he'll almost always assuredly be trading way up on mana, killing something. Caleb has many things that cost 5, 6, and 7, which is where kill shot can be good. Anything else to note about what you see on Jeremy's deck?
We do have a little bit of black, it seems, with Zeator's Envoy.
Okay.
Stream quality isn't good enough, and I don't remember what the card does.
Caleb also has that. It's a 5/4 with, I believe, Trample. It has Blitz, but when it deals combat damage, you can look at the top card of your library, and if its mana cost is less than the damage dealt, you can play it for free. Otherwise, you get to draw it. So it's all upside. So even if it's something more than the damage,
I'm assuming we're just mostly splashing that up treasure.
I imagine he has some dual lands that make.
We also have a swamp. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with the tricolor fetch lands.
Yeah.
You're always gonna want at least one swamp, even if you only have one black card. All right. So getting into game 2 here.
We've got 0 lands, so I can't see us keeping.
Not good. So Caleb's gonna keep his hand here. He has stuff to do in the early game. He has an Exhibition Magician, Warm Welcome. He has the Delina Wild Mage, the rare from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms.
Yep.
Murder and 3 lands. So he's looking like he's going to be able to cast all of the spells he has in his opening hand.
We've got 4 lands. We're going to bottom 1. Extraction Specialist, the Throng, which can get up to 2 more, and the Adjudicators.
So the Throng is a good way to undo a mulligan.
Yeah, it is. Ooh, and we drew a Darling of the Masses, which is also very nice with the Throngs.
Yeah, that'll turn them into 4/1s. Yeah, so it looks like Jeremy's going to be able to not fall too far behind. Though, just as I'm saying that, Caleb draws his rare 2-drop, the Tenacious Underdog, which can repeatedly blitz itself from the graveyard into play. Yeah.
Probably just trade that for a Throng.
Yeah, well, the Throng is drawing 2 cards here, so.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
This is a really good way to undo a mulligan. Really, really good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't found our 4th land yet. We did find a big score, which will be nice, but
yeah. I mean, obviously you want to hit your land drops, but he has Throngs to cast in the meantime.
Yeah.
So he's not stranded without things to do.
Extraction Specialist only pulls back 2 right?
Yeah, it has to be two mana cost.
Alright, so we don't have anything for that. We drew our 4th land.
Yeah.
I assume that means Darling of the Masses probably comes down. Yeah.
Yeah. So Caleb is likely going to cast his Delina Wild Mage. He might potentially decide he wants to murder the Darling of the Masses before it can start getting in. We'll see what he decides.
You could start blitzing back also. That doesn't seem great, though.
Yeah, I think he's going to do that later. I mean, it does cost life as
well. Into a 2/4 is also not the greatest thing you want to do.
So the Delina Wild Mage is going to come down. He figures he can
murder the Darling of the
Masses after.
Which is very interesting.
If he doesn't have his 5th land, though, yet, right?
No, we do not have a 5th land, so we can't throng into it.
Yeah, maybe he if he feels threatened by the Delina, he can just light it up without casualtying it. 2 damage.
Looks like we're gonna big score discarding a throng to find that land, which we did.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks like we're just gonna light up Delina.
Yeah, makes sense. Then he can attack in, and Caleb essentially can't ignore the Darling of the Masses. He has to murder, or if he draws a land, he can cast the Freelance Muscle. Which can block as a 6/6 potentially.
Yeah.
So, okay, he has not drawn the land. He's drawn a Brazen Upstart, which he cannot cast.
I don't know.
Red, green, white.
I'm wondering about attacking first there, because I doubt they traded Delina for it.
Okay, so he's decided to go for Glittermonger here and try and set up a block of some kind.
Looks like we're just gonna Adjudicators.
Yeah.
And say no to your blocks.
Yeah, so he can now attack in again, make another 2/1, and the Adjudicators is a citizen as well, so that comes down as a 5/4, which is pretty big.
Yeah. We did draw another land, which is very nice.
Okay. Looks like this mulligan is working out quite nicely.
It is. Yeah, Throng is a way to get out of the mulligan.
Absolutely, yeah.
He basically mulliganed from 7 into 8.
Yeah, I didn't mention it earlier, but Caleb decided to make a 1/1 with his Exhibition Magician instead of a treasure, and his deck is very mana and color hungry, and he hasn't drawn lands in the ensuing turns. So, but he does make the treasure here with the connive, with the I was going to say conniving pickpocket, but the psychic pickpocket is coming into play here.
What are we bouncing? Tokens?
I mean, the token's the easiest one here. Just gets it off the board.
Yeah.
Caleb's deciding what to discard. Recast. So he did draw a forest here, which is good. His choices to discard are probably either the Warm Welcome or the Brazen Upstart, which is the cost of red, green, and white. So not castable without a treasure here. And so he settled on actually discarding his 5-drop here, the Freelance Muscle.
Interesting.
I guess he maybe wants to be able to do 2 things next turn, to Warm Welcome and Brazen Upstart. In which case, he would not be able to cast 2 spells if he cast Freelance Muscle next turn. So what's going on with Jeremy's hand here?
We drew Kill Shot.
Okay, so no great targets for that yet. So they trade off the 5-drops here. Jewel Thief is coming down.
Probably another Throng, yep.
Okay, so the Throng is a 4/1, which could be relevant.
Matters to the Glittermonger.
Yeah. So here's
it's still probably just trying to trade for the...
So here's the Brazen Upstart, that when it dies, you can look at the top 5 and put a creature in your hand. So he's just going to sit back for the time being.
We drew a Civil Servant, so there's a nice 2-drop.
Alright, it's a cat in a suit, as I like to say.
And it's a citizen, so...
It's definitely a citizen, yes. So that could be
attacking as a 4/4.
Yeah.
Or a 4/3?
4/3. Yeah.
Does it get +1/+0 or +1/+1?
It gets +1/+0.
Okay, so 4/3.
Yeah. It gets +1/+0 from both of the potential pumps. From itself and from the Darling of the Masses.
Is the Jewel Thief coming in? Oh, and the Throng. Okay.
I mean, I figure Caleb's just going to trade off both his creatures here.
Yeah.
He could also cast a Warm Welcome and trade off for
the token.
Trade off for the
I like that
even.
Way. Yeah.
And maybe find some impactful creatures to cast. Or an impactful creature. Okay, so he's choosing not to do that. He's just going to take the trades that are on board here.
Yeah. I assume you're still probably casting the Warm Welcome.
Yeah. Stands to reason. I mean, he has Murder up as well. So no creatures in the top 5 here. He had 2 instants and 3 lands. Both of the instants make creatures, as it was another Warm Welcome, and you see a pair of goblins, but unfortunately they are not creature cards. So the Brazen Upstart dies in vain.
It's still traded for a Jewel Thief.
Yeah, no, it's still traded, but a 3-mana 4/2 is not great. A 3-mana 4/2 that draws a creature when it dies is very good. So it was just okay. Now Caleb is going to cast his Warm Welcome here. Nothing that he cares to murder, so he sees 4 choices here.
Oh man, who shuffled that?
I mean, of note, his Rogues Gallery is going to the bottom of his deck because it's the 5th card he's looking at. He's got his eyes on the Professional Facebreaker here.
I think that makes sense, especially with the Glittermonger. Glittermonger is now tapped to draw a card.
Yeah, well,
or not quite, but yeah, impulse draw.
This is a good combo. Glittermonger does have a few cards it combos with in the set in an impressive way. Ginny Fae being the one that comes to mind, where instead of making a treasure, you make a cat or a dog.
Yeah. The enchantment, you can just turn them into 1/1s, which isn't bad either.
Oh, yeah.
I've pulled that one off in draft a couple times.
So he's going to murder the Darling of the Masses here. Right
okay.
Now. Yeah. He's seen that Jeremy can produce enough citizens that he doesn't want to.
We drew Backup Agent, which is pretty nice here because it means we can put the counter on the servant and then.
And Backup Agent is a citizen as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's coming in as a 4/4 lifelink, and if it dies, it'll come back extracted.
Oh yeah, he still has the extraction specialist. There's still nothing in the graveyard yet, right? For it?
Yeah, nothing for that. Nothing 2 or less.
Okay.
Which it seems like he's waiting for his value on, which is fine.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright. Caleb's just going to take the damage here. He's going to make a treasure, and then if he doesn't draw something to do on his turn, he'll sacrifice the treasure to start looking at the top cards of his deck. He's drawing another Glittermonger, which...
okay, he does do it pre-combat, which is good.
I don't know if it's exactly what he needs, but okay, Exhibition Magician. That's
that draws another card.
Yeah, it's bodies he can. It's more bodies he can put in front of things if needed.
It would have been real sad if Caleb went to attacks first to get that treasure. Just got kill shotted.
Yeah. So
I assume it's gonna get the kill shot. No? Oh, we're playing around the kill shot.
I think.
Oh no, we're not.
No, he's playing into the kill shot here. Unfortunate. That is a big loss there because that Professional Facebreaker was going to dig him many cards deep with all the ways he has to.
Is he going to dig one more deep right now? Probably, yeah.
Well, it's you could play the card this turn, so
Yeah.
It's not one where you have to do it right away. All right.
Well, no, by tapping the Glittermonger right there, yeah.
Yeah, well, his source of card advantage is gone, so he just has a bunch of bodies now.
Ooh, we drew Soul, which we've got 2 treasures for.
Okay. He would need to use one to cast it, though.
Yeah, we can wait a turn, maybe.
We
also have the backup agent that we kind of want to die, so maybe we do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you can extraction.
Yeah, he's going to put a bunch of bodies in front of the civil servant.
It's kind of a 1-for-1. He's just trading the magician and its token for it.
Well, so far the Glittermonger is ordered first, but...
We've adjusted it, and now we're looking in browser.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it isn't finalized, but current ordering kills the token. And nope, we swap back to Glittermonger.
Yep, he's just decided to get the 1-4 out of there.
Now I'm guessing we just extract. Hope we get a land so that we don't have to.
Okay. As you suspected.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Ooh. Caleb's drawn one of his 2 copies of Hostile Takeover. Which he can cast with by making a treasure here.
Yep. Looks like we're blitzing.
Well, this way he gets to draw the card when it dies. So if he doesn't trade, it's going to die to the... Well, it's going to die anyway, so... I guess he's not hostile takeovering this turn. No, he's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that means he's not hostile taker.
Yeah, normally you hostile take over before combat to get in for the 4 once you wipe their board.
Yeah. We drew Rafine's Informant, which I'm gonna guess we're not playing.
I mean, if the soul emancipation comes down, the hostile takeover is gonna wreck that pretty hard. So yeah, maybe he's holding it. Because I'm pretty sure he knows Jeremy has 2 copies. Probably has looked at his deck or was just aware if you watched last week. So he's maybe saving it for when one of those comes down. Because that's a pretty clean answer to the whole thing.
I guess the board state right now is pretty chill.
The current board state does not demand that Caleb cast a hostile takeover. Like, it'll still be good for him, but it doesn't demand it.
No. Looks like the angel is coming down, so that'll play right into this.
Here comes the avatar. It's gonna
treasure, backup agent.
It's gonna meet some hostility next turn.
And civil servant. And I have a feeling we're gonna see a concession within 2 turns after the hostile takeover.
Yeah, this is so this is gonna deal. This is gonna kill all his stuff. It's gonna deal 5 damage to this card. Always it not only kills all your opponent's creatures and not all of yours. It usually deals the opponent at least 4 damage, if not more. What a beating! What a beating! You just got your whole board wiped, and now you're taking even more damage on top of it.
Oh, and they had enough to blitz that out also?
Yeah.
Oh.
He decided not to attack with the Glittermonger just to get another treasure, because he does have demanding mana costs.
That makes sense.
He does have things that cost both white and
blue. You're also,
which he hasn't.
Your way of losing might be haste.
So now he's drawn his own Soul of Emancipation, which he can cast by making 2 treasures.
We drew Hold for Ransom, which
okay
isn't great here.
No, when the players have this much mana, Hold for Ransom is not great.
I mean, it forces them to use their turn, and you get to draw a card.
Yeah, so. It's a stopgap, but it's not what you want to see.
Looks like they're considering that better than the counter here, though.
Makes sense. All right, so Caleb's drawing a murder
Caleb, but
here,
I don't think
he just is doing.
I don't think I'm in a rush to get that angel down. I think I want to wait until I can fully do 3 treasures.
He's going to blitz the underdog, and then he's going to kill it off with a soul to draw a card and make 3/3. So, okay, so
didn't attack with it first.
Well, he wanted to turn it into an angel.
Well, you can still attack with it, right? Or is it end of combat that it sacks, or end of turn?
It's end of turn, but I mean, it's possible Jeremy blocks. I mean, not likely, but possible.
Well, it's a 2/1 on a 2/3, right? Or it's a 3/2. Never mind.
It's a 3/2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Caleb's got 2 murders in hand right now, so he's not dying anytime soon, unless something with a shield counter comes down.
Well, I think the biggest fear now is burn to face, but I don't think there is that much.
He's just getting this out of the way. He's going to attack for 11.
Ooh.
Now, any 2 of his creatures are lethal.
That's just game.
Yeah. Unless there's a hostile takeover coming from the other side, this one goes in favor of Caleb. So that's a victory for the Obscura team this time around. All right, so congratulations to Caleb on that win there. Very impressive. And we'll be back
Good games,
for the next round in a little bit.